Welcome to the dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he's got more follows than my boy Eric Icy. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin, who cheated who, which engine
That
did he
ain't
hacking.
Mouse.
He got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong. He scored a like from Truan. He's got lightning attacks on GM blunders and gaffes, true not over the board. It's only the other chat. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless. He rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction. The status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought merch from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes, my friend, yes, this is you. But that all changed one bright sunny day when a friend said, hey, don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. Sweatwork's what I believe. Rating's what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I stepped away from easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, rating's what I'll receive. So Joe got into the business, stopped the app sickness, daily practice his rhythm, he even upped his fitness. He found sparring cathartic, postmortems charming. With the plus equal minus, he was armed for elo farming. With notepad and pen, he built up calluses, escape rating paralysis with lengthy game analysis. With sensei direction, he sold his collection. Read one classic and that was fantastic. Now he locked to the spot where they checking off boxes. Young prodigies and some wily old foxes. 3.5 points per box, that's shocking progress. Goal nearing, cohort cheering, Joe doesn't hear it. He's monotasking, no relaxing, concentration maxing. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work, work, never stop. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work, never stop. Now occasionally, he peeps the world of the tweet and laughs when he sees the player that he used to be. Blank face staring, complex plans comparing while he's dojo training. Hours a day playing out positions, transpositions, and growing his board vision. Transition from poser to player, focus without a care. He leaves them complaining in his dust, staying with their week-old ratings. Blast past his week-old rating, each week's a new occasion. He never takes vacation, the work is entertaining, the growth he's maintaining. And now Joe is explaining, hey, don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, rating's what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, rating's what I'll receive. Welcome to the dojo. Ooh. Welcome to the dojo. Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Eric Icy. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin, who cheated who, which engine
That
did he
ain't
hacking.
Mouse.
He got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong. He scored a like from Truan. He's got lightning attacks on GM blunders and gaffes, true not over the board. It's only the other chat. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless. He rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction. The status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought merch from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes, my friend, yes, this is you. But that all changed one bright sunny day when a friend said, hey, don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave give up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. Sweatwork's what I believe. Waiting's what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo. It's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo. I stepped away from easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe. Waiting's what I'll receive. So Joe got into the business, stopped the app sickness, daily practices rhythm, he even upped his fitness. He found sparring cathartic, postmortems charming. With the plus equal minus, he was armed for ELO farming. With notepad and pen, he built up calluses, escape rating paralysis. With lengthy game analysis, with sensei direction, he sold his collection. Read one classic and that was fantastic. Now he lost.
All right, my friends, here we go. I got some family drama I'm dealing with. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best, buddy. All right, so this is the ChessDojo training program. And Stuart Roberts in 1979, he's got a cue up in here. In fact, Stuart, let's do that right now. I think I know what you're talking about. So let me just say, we started this thing long ago where you can do a sensei game review, and we don't have it set so that this like dings us. It needs to ping us, or else it's just hidden in a place where we don't see it. So here comes Stuart. Oh, that's good, Stuart, that you're here. I'm happy to do this. Okay, so this is an OTB, and look at that time graph. So a couple things right away. The time graph is amazing. It's also amazing that you did it. So very good habit to keep doing. It's not that hard, especially when you get used to it. And there's a lot of interesting information in here. Later we'll see move by move on the critical decisions, how much people thought. But just right here is showing that both players are pretty reasonable with their time. Okay, so let's go then game review. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to do as you do. Always gotta do this. Boom. Boom. That's not right. No, how did you mess it up? We got this one. Oh, criminy. This is killing me now. Killing me softly with his words, telling my whole life. There we go. I'm a genius. Okay, so he's got a couple takeaways. Mindful of spending my clock time. Right. This is a really good self-analysis here. Unable to stop ruminating on what is essentially an intuitive decision. So, one of the art forms of chess is deciding what is an intuitive decision and what is a decision where we need to calculate. Comes a little bit with practice, but just saying it, you kind of have a sense of what that means, even if you're a beginner level chess player. Okay. So, Stuart is in the chat, I think, on YouTube. And this is his game. E5, very fancy move. Good. Good. Check to the miserable king. And this is already looking pretty good right here for you. It looks to me like black already has a terrible game. So, you thought a little bit on DE3 and a little bit on bishop G4. You could definitely consider playing bishop C5 here. Okay, but good. And now you take. Now, the danger with this move for me is it feels like you're cashing in to win the pawn when you play bishop takes F3. I think we want to stress here that your position is amazing and we shouldn't feel in any rush to do anything. A very intuitive decision would be knight h6, intending knight f5, right? Okay, so here we go. Let's take a look at the position that develops. And if I'm white, I think I'm happy with this. Now, if he takes, then I'm not. Then I'm happy as black again. So there's just a basic question of could white have done something here? One fun variation I just spotted is queen b3. Queen c1 looks like it kills us, but actually we just play king e2. Hello. Hello. So let me just say that strategically, the thing that looks wrong is that this bishop was a useless piece or not that great, and now it's an unopposed bishop on this beautiful diagonal. So that's the thing that intuitively strikes me wrong about this bishop f3 stuff. Okay, so that just looks absolutely wrong. So there's queen b3. Knight a3 isn't completely dumb. And it looks like that dude thinks forever on this move and didn't realize that this thing was getting slapped. Yeah. No good. Now, by the way, on rook f1, I don't think you should take the thing. Probably rook d8. I was thinking you don't want to do castles because then he's got the queen g4 on you. And we'll just say it's a very nice position for you. At least it looks that way to me. Okay, so bishop b4. Now I would say he's lost. And then you talk about how queen h2 is better, and I feel that. But you know what? From a practical point of view, I'm not sure I mind, because this is a completely winning position. Now we're going to see your skill level in executing this position, but it is definitely very much completely winning when he takes on d1. Right, Stuart, I agree. The guy just missed it. Now, you played knight e7. I would have preferred castles check, because I like to give check and castle at the same time. So, here you were a little soft in allowing him to get to this position. You're still completely winning, though, because here he's managed to hold it together. So what we would have wanted, actually you have a variation here, good. Castles, king e2. You talk about f6? Seems a little unnecessary. Another variation that just makes a lot of sense is here, and I'm just threatening to fork 3 of them at the same time. You know. In this position, knight d5 looks amazing. Okay, but we're going to get this position. It's still winning, but you can see that he's got a little bit of resilience in his position now. Now, I don't know exactly what to do, but this, no. He's saying to himself, oh, I want to go attack black. But honestly, your knight wasn't doing much. And you want the position to open for your rooks. So I don't know what he should do, but it's not b4. And now you play b5, which is probably okay. Knight e7 looks good too. And now he's trading off, so that's helping you. Definitely he should try to... Wait a second. Yeah, what are we doing? Knight d4. Just take the pawn. What are we doing? Then we'll come in here. We're killing him. Oh, no. Interestingly, I think the dude should have considered bishop d4 so that on king b7 he can do this kind of thing to you. He's still totally winning. Now he played rook d5. Now you're talking about f6. Okay. Good, especially in the sense that you want to open the position. A very simple way to play the position, though, would just be like, hey, I'm going to do this. And then what do you got? Nothing. You got nothing. All right, rook d5. So the crime with rook d5 is that the rook is misplaced on d5. Okay. Okay. Good. Good move. Now you have it fully under control. Good. Now white here needed to find something. Rook f3 isn't it. Not sure I understand rook e7. Okay. It's a little rando here. Good. Why he wouldn't go to e4, I don't know. Good. Beautiful. Okay, couple things I want to say. Obviously, the bishop f3. Well, okay, let's start actually at the beginning. You play an interesting gambit that your opponent doesn't know what to do, and you get a beautiful position right away. I don't mind bishop g4, but it would make more sense to me to play either bishop c5 to not let him fix his business, or knight h6. Right, we don't like that one. And here I think some kind of move like queen b3 is the thing that we're concerned with. He's got several moves, though, that are interesting. So blunder. Notice, too, with this blunder, it's not just about the fact that the rook is hanging, but that was his best minor piece. And then right, from here on out, the game should roll a lot smoother. It shouldn't take forever. And so one of the things about the time management is because you couldn't finish it off, it got a little hectic in the time management. It was happening to everybody, right? Okay. Ethan Franklin asked, I've heard about these long time control leagues. Do you run one? Yeah. If you go to our site and go to tournaments, and when I finish this game, actually, I'll give you a little tour. Okay, so I like knight h6 is the simplest, and castles. One of the things I want you to see about the just positionally is you came up with f6 on your own and a couple annotations. And the thing to see about it is the same way that you want to open positions for bishops, you want to also open them for rooks. And that's, of course, your big advantage here. And if you want to feel bad about something, it's this one. Because the rook's so funny. Actually, my Mexican friend told me, and I've taken it to heart, that rooks in the center are shit. Now, you're still totally winning. But, yeah, it makes me real nervous here. All right. Okay. So, Ethan, we're going to take a look. Well, first of all, Stuart, thank you for submitting this. Sorry it took me a while to get to it. I'm going to try to be better with these things. We're going to come up. Basically, our tech side has to figure out a way to give me a notification. All right, Ethan. Let's say you're in Stuart's cohort. So these are the dojo round robins. Oh, wait. Let me switch the scene. And we go to the 1500, 1600 cohort. And just as an example, this one has 8 out of 10 players already in there. And what's going to happen is if no one shows up in the next 2 days, it's just going to start. And these are some strong people in here. This guy Andrew Visa, he was in some of our live classes before, and he is very dedicated. And then you can see here, this one already started and is ongoing. Yeah, and depending on where you are, there's a minimum time control. So this one, it should say, yeah, it says minimum time control there. You can agree to do a faster one too. Okay. Good. All right, my friends, let's go to the graduate show. Everybody's snowed in today. I got the animals here. They're going to start screaming any second. So, if I get halfway through this and maybe do some more tomorrow, that's going to be where I'm at. All right, DC Hansen says, I've been enjoying the program so far. Most of my rating gain has been through shorter blunder games, which I've also been publishing with limited annotations. I find they're faster and easier to work into a busy schedule and a little less intimidating. But I know I need to do more classicals and will focus on that in the next rating climb. I'm also working to get a better handle on the full feature set of the annotation tool, which I really like, and the Discord. The structure and gamification are awesome and have really helped me focus on a good breadth of topic as opposed to just constantly drilling ChessCom puzzles. Well, thank you, DC Hansen. Let's go take a look. All right, so joined pretty recent, and as happens, they graduate. So 303 Dojo, 553 ChessCom, beautiful stuff. All right, and you can see his heat map right there. He's done a lot of tactics. Does he got some clubs? Midwest, okay, fine. And we got some games. There's his Blender games. There's his My Games. We got one game played fairly recently. This is a time control 1800, 3030. Okay. So there's our time graph. Looks pretty good, DC Hansen. Okay. So far, so good. A little weird to play F3, and now very weird to play F6. So one of the spiels I do every graduate show is to say that the path for you to get to 1,000 dojo, so that's about 1250 chess.com, it's really three things. And I've done this show for so many years that I know exactly what they are. I didn't know necessarily at first. I had a clue, but I didn't know exactly at first. So one is going to be board grip, board vision. Do you see which pieces control which squares? It's not even calculation yet. It's just, can you see it? Because most games are actually decided by somebody hanging a piece. Number two, using your time. On this game, at least, you did really good. A lot of times at this level, people aren't using their time. They're unable to. They don't have the muscle. And number three, development. And here we're bringing that in because that is the easiest to learn. And here's your crime here with F6, not a developing move. If your people aren't out, they aren't working. They might as well be dead. So any developing move here would have been fine. You need to make at least two pawn moves to get both bishops out. So developing moves would have been here, here, here. You could have taken, you could have considered taking, and then e5. You can do all kinds of things, but the pieces must come out. All right, f6. Fancy. So dangerous because you're not really developed. Okay. Okay. So not a developing move, developing move. And now he blows it here, queen d2. So as I said, it's all about who is going to hang their coconuts. Okay? So here we would consider either knight e2 or knight a4. To make things too complicated, I'll share this fascinating position. And we'll say, hard to evaluate. But The thing to see here about this imbalanced position is, while it's hard to evaluate, if black has a problem, it's their king. Okay. All right, so here we go. Queen d2. Good move. Well, okay. Snip. And now you play queen b2. I think you should play d4. Forking. Now it's a little dangerous. You could probably still play d4. I don't know. Now he's taking a bunch of stuff. Good move. Now it doesn't even work. But notice, this is what we call an in-between move. You play queen a3. We could have gone bang, hitting his queen. Queen a3. Oh, this is dangerous. And he plays queen a5. You took, and now he blows it all the way. Well, you played queen c1. I would have taken that thing. I want my life to be easy. Because look, on queen c1, dude could have played bishop f1. And I get it, you're probably winning on e2, but it's not. There's danger here. In fact, I'll show you a fun variation. Bang! Check. Now you can't go here because of rook c7. And if you go here, I say check. If you here, I say check, and it's a draw. Holy moly, I'm good. I'm really good at this game. All right, I should have put it, by the way, my bad. I should have put it in the view where you can see both players' annotations. Okay, or the annotations. DC Hansen, that was great. M. Bird is next. Bird says, on Black Friday, oh, you know what I did? I copied this into the Dojo Discord because I thought it was so well said. Also, the experience of, I think, a lot of people out there. Okay, so here we go. Oh, Ethan Franklin, that's great. Embert says, on Black Friday, I bought a Chessly membership and used it every day through January 1st, working through all the beginner courses and some opening material. Despite the effort, my rating was actually dropping, memorizing long opening variations, sometimes 15, 20 moves deep that never showed up in my games. Was frustrated and honestly discouraging. Yeah, at this level, there's no point. There's no reason to be studying openings. I started to feel like I was going to stay around 500 forever. Then I found the dojo, and that's when things started to click. Since joining, my progress has been steady. I'm no longer memorizing lines or playing hope chess. I'm learning how to think during the game. The structured training took the pressure off figuring out how to train each day and made the work I'm putting in visible, which has been incredibly motivating. Alongside the dojo, I've also been following the Chess Bra Building Habits series religiously, and I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on it as a complimentary resource for beginners. One of the most underrated resources for me has been the graduation streams. Well, thank you. Watching annotated games broken down by you and seeing players just ahead of me work through the same struggles has been incredibly motivating. Because of the dojo, a goal like reaching 1,000 by New Year's feels realistic and almost too small now. So grateful for the community and excited to keep grinding in the next cohort. I love that note. There's all kinds of great notes that we get here, but that was a really good one. So makes me thankful out of that. Beloved Bookkeeper is here. Hello, beloved Bookkeeper. Are you going to show up at the Baltimore Open this weekend? So here's Ambert. He just got here, cyber analyst. In 2021, I lost over 100 pounds to join the military. And in 23, I completed my first 100-mile ultra marathon. Dang. He's a serious. He gets in. He gets in there. Okay, baby due in April. Dang. Embert is a very serious dude. That's amazing. I have run some longer things. I wanted to run really long, but then my ankle hurt me. But I got up to 50K. Yeah, if my ankle wasn't messed up, I'd do more of it for sure. All right. So, Embert just joined. Has he got some clubs already? Oh, he's over there. He's close. Maybe he's going to show up into the into the tournament. Now the bras habits. It's hard for me to take the chess bras habits. let's do this. Let's do something fun, my friends. Let's go to AI. Break down the chess bras habits. Let's just see what the thing says. And he's the third to do cardio enjoyers. The core philosophy is to automate good decision making so you don't have to think as much in the opening and middle game. I'm not liking what I'm seeing. I'm not, no. 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 I don't like any of this. Yeah. No, 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 no. I don't like the habits. I didn't know, but I don't like it. I didn't know before. Now I don't like it. Quad XE says, if you want to study chess, then chess bras rules are counterproductive. Yeah. So you don't have to study. You have to do the work, my friends. There's no easy situation. All right, quick thing. The cardio enjoyers is a little bit of a fun club because I've just noted on this stream that the people doing the Lifty Heavy Things Club are graduating way more per capita than any other club. And so we have a guy, I think he's called Tired Runner, and so he created cardio enjoyers. Mbert has now joined him. Okay, so here we go. Does Mbert have a game? He's got loads of games, dude. Okay, here we go. Ba-bam. Oh, look at that time control. 30-0. And one of the things Mbert will say is, you know, if you want to do more than 30, you are welcome to do it. Here, you maybe lost on time. I guess it says it's a draw, but, you know, obviously the time got to be a thing. And so I just say for everybody in this under 1,000, generally, people have a hard time thinking. And the players you play against are going to be usually not like this guy, the black player, but are going to be people who are just moving way too fast. So the reason we allow a fast time control at 30 is it's just a way to get into thinking. In Mbert, it feels like you're already there, at least on the basis of this game. So you could definitely consider doing longer games than this. Endgame Magician says, do they have a 1900 OTB or higher section? Oh, yeah, we do. We have all the way up to 2400 FIDE plus. All right, here we go. D5. That's a little weird to me. Okay. So, interesting. I've never seen this before. You choose this move. Okay. And now he does this, which does not feel right from a variety of perspectives, but I get it. He's in a little trouble. On DE, you got Queen D8. C3. Maybe. My intuition, just basic, would be Bishop C4 and castles. All right, Queen H4. It's getting hot. It's getting hot. Now, again, just protecting the thing would be amazing. You took, and now he goes for it. And you got to play Bishop F3. All right, Rook F1. Now we're in trouble. Okay, development. Okay, I like that you're developing. I like this move. All right, so now you played knight takes C7. We had earlier a variation with 3 pieces for the queen. Unfortunately, this doesn't work. It looks great. It looks at least interesting. But unfortunately for us, he's got this little wham bam, and then it didn't go right. Right? Didn't go right. So, Ethan asks, do I have to do a paid version to join those leagues you showed me earlier? So what we did is, if you didn't want to do the training, everything, the site has all these tools. If you just want to do the league, you can pay $2, and it's just a nominal payment because we didn't want to have people in the tournaments who weren't committed to it. I recommend trying the program. But yeah, you can pay the $2 and get into the tournaments. And I think if you just wanted to do that, you'd go to this tournaments page, which I think I'm going to paste it. I think, I'm not the tech wizard. I think if you went to this page, put it in the chat, you would be able to do it. Okay, so where am I? What's my name? We got this interesting position. So definitely bishop f3. And now you do this. And now I think you should castle long. It's unfortunate for us that the queen takes f5 doesn't work. Castles. Ooh, and now you played knight e7. I think queen f5 now is very interesting. So now if bishop f5, you've got knight. Oh, it still doesn't work. He can give us a check. And we go here, he gives us a whack. Oh, dang it. Still doesn't work. All right. So knight e7. I think the other thing you should consider here is rook h1, because you want to put the rook there. Wait a second. Rook h1, bro. What are we doing? What is he doing? That's what I want to know. Oh, that looks evil. What are we talking about? Rook h1. Where's Miss Queen going to? That's a bummer for them. If I was black, maybe I'd consider trying to get this. I don't think so. No, everything's hanging. Everything's hanging. Okay, so we want a little bit more annotations here. And now this is a blunder. Look what happened here. He has bishop f5. Oh no! Chihuahua. It looks good, but he's got this check. And then bishop e2. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I don't know what's going on here. King f8. All right, so there's some moves there didn't make much sense. Oh my God, this frightens me. The idea of this move was to open it for the queen. You can just take your pawn though, bud. Good. Good for him is what I meant. Push that pawn, buddy. G6, E6, good move. Now he goes for it, H2. And now you can do draw by perpetual check. Great. Great. Oh, that was well done. He asked me about Chestnut or Chestnut Evo. We have a thing on our video that DM Hokie did. I am not an expert in that. I am so old that I do not have either of those. But I really recommend people who, especially if you're not going to be playing OTB, to be getting something like that. Do you have a video? I have loads of videos. Yeah, there's loads of videos to explain the dojo. Loads of videos. Let's see if we can find him a video. Okay. So I go here. I go. How many we've got loads of videos, but I'm going to try to find a good one here. We got so many videos. Oh, crap. Overview of the dojo. There it is. Bam. This one's maybe a couple months old. Things a little bit shifted, but we are there, and I'm going to put that in El Chato. There you go, Ethan. Ba-bam. Okay, so that was the famous Mbert. We're going to continue here. This is La Fée Verte. I think La Fée Verte was around here. Yeah, he already graduated, I remember. I'm already following him. You can see here on this heat map that he is crushing. 385. Not quite there, though, bud. Not quite there. That's 385. Maybe you made it here and just didn't, then fell back down a little bit. So we're going to give it to you as a coder as well as our last guy. Do we got some games? No. La Fée, welcome to the dojo. We need some games from you, bud. Next up, we got Roaming Monk. Roaming Monk is also around 410 here. 50 plus, he's in the 50 plus crew. We now have 211 people in there. I'm in there. Roaming Monk, do you got any games for us, bud? We do. So, this is a game played very recently by the Roaming Monk. Okay, so this is a game he had set up through the dojo. There's an amazing time graph. Look at that thing. People are using their time. I feel like me yelling might be having an effect. All right, let's get into it. So reasonable moves. Fine. 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 Not great by black. Don't take the pin piece. Oh, that wasn't it. Okay, so there's a couple problems with this move. One, you arguably played it too fast. Two, it's not a developing move. Most importante, you're losing a piece. So, you just move your queen, buddy. Just move your queen. Think about it this way, too. You are going to have to move your queen anyway, right? Like, let's say they move their queen. Fine. The bishop on g5 is not better than on f4, and you still got to move your queen. So just move your queen, bud. Move it somewhere. All these squares are good looking, as long as you move the queen. Okay, boom, now we're toast. This is also not a developing move. Okay. Oh, it's dangerous, but I can't help you. You're already in trouble. Rook e8, I would have preferred c6. Okay. b6 looks good. Fine. c6, queen g5. A little weird, but okay. Yeah. We are toast. But he's doing his best to blow it here. Check. Come back. Knight e4. So we're missing this. He missed it too. Simple chess. I don't like rook c8. What are you doing? Yeah, you got to start moving your business here. Now this is a little loose. Okay. Poor because you're hanging this guy. You are trying to at least start something, though. I like what you're doing. And after focusing all that, I just noticed that I trapped his knight. Geez. Well, wait a second. What about ye old rook takes g6? What about rook g6, bruv? What are we doing? He gave you this chance. Look at that. Oh, no. Check. 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 Oh, baby. Oh. And I don't know. Well, that's the end. That's the end. When I hustled chess back in the day, the hustlers would say that two rooks were a tornado, they said two rooks tornado, two queens a hurricane. There you see it right there. All right, so b3. I think you're toast. That's a hard move to meet. I don't understand that move. Just now take the queen and you might live. Oh, I don't know what black's doing. I don't know what he's doing. I don't understand anything here. I don't understand. He's just hanging everything. So, something we want to stress here. Oh, or G8. You're hanging things. Roaming monk, you're hanging things, Bows. You're hanging things. And that's what it's about. All right? Now, your opponents are too. Your opponents are too. Okay. So, that's the main thing to work on. Not anything unusual for this level. We see it all the time. Okay? All right. Let's go back. We'll go Grand Show. Next up, we got Chalubi. Just joined the dojo. Looking pretty good. We got some clubs. Nothing. Games, Chalubi. Do we got some games? We do. Kind of sparsely annotated, maybe the first time. Here's Chalubi. Oh, see, and this is what more like we're talking about. This is more the norm that we see, is that people don't use their time, right? They don't use their time. All right, here we go. Kind of blaze through this as short notes. Little weird, D5, probably we should take it. Fine. Good, now you're fine again. It looks to me like this pawn is hanging. Why are you moving so fast? F6, fine, fine. Ambitious, but probably okay. Bishop C5, okay. Good. And now this move is weird because you're hanging your pawn on E4. Don't hang your pawn. Either protect it with the knight or the bishop. Now you're just encouraging him. It's just encouraging him. Okay, so it's not a decent fork. He can take you. He can just take you. I don't understand that move. Check. Good move. Good move. Go. That's fun. Okay, now we're talking. Rook E8. And now you could have won Mr. Knight, I think, by either this move or this move. Oh, now it's all, the milk's gone crazy here now. Oh my God, no one knows. So this is very complicated, and both sides needed to do more analysis here. And we see this all the time at the dojo, with beginner level players moving way too fast in the endgame, as if it were something very simple. So let's go back to this, and we'll say that was very complicated, and look how fast they move. That's why I didn't want to spend too much time on it. And what we also see is that when we got to the end game, the annotator, Chalubi, stopped when it got right around here, which we can tell that was a really complicated position. It's time to think about stuff, right? Sigmasa says, I graduated this week. Jesse pronounced a Phil. I found it much harder as the opponents are obviously a better standard. I still play too fast, and we'll fix this. Okay, I'll try to pronounce it right. I'll do my best. I'm terrible with the pronouncing. All right, so here we go. We got GGK90 up next. GGK90 just joined. We're going to give him a heart. 494, made it and then fell down a little bit. He's in the Philly dojo, okay. And everybody's got games today. Makes my job a little harder. It's got to be said. Oh, wait, no, this is no bueno. We want more than that. Let's see if it's that way the whole way. This one's a little better. We'll look at this one. Okay. So there we see, we did okay with the time management. All right, let's get into it. Jesse's taking the trouble. That's my daughter. Everybody's home from school, and dude, when you're a father and you have to listen to that, it's not an easy life. Okay, we don't like this move because it's not a developing move. So e5 comes to mind. Poor move. Opening up the center before it's time. And now you play e5, but you should probably consider ed. A lot of this I don't understand. C takes d4 looks like it's crushing you right now. cd4 still looks like it's crushing you. Okay, loss of time, and now the d pawn's hanging. Loss of time. If you're going to do it, maybe castles. If you're not going to take d5. I don't understand a3. Not a developing move.
Daddy, Liam's acting kind of crazy.
Okay, and now we have our first deliberate hanging of stuff. This guy's done, right? And that's a full blunder. Bang. All right, my friends, I'm gonna turn you on to a video, and I'll be right back.
Welcome
Welcome to the dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he's got more follows than my boy Eric Dicey. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin, who cheated who, which engine that he packing. He got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong. He scored a like from Truong. He's got lightning attacks on GM, blunders and gaffes, true not over the board. It's only the other chap. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless. He rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction. The status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought merch from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes, my friend, yes, this is you. But that all changed one bright sunny day when a friend said, hey, don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. Sweatwork's what I believe. Waiting's what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I stepped away from easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. So Joe got into the business, stopped the app sickness, daily practices rhythm, he even upped his fitness. He found sparring cathartic, postmortems charming. With the plus equal minus, he was armed for ELO farming. With notepad and pen, he built up calluses, escape rating paralysis with lengthy game analysis. With sensei direction, he sold his collection. Read one classic and that was fantastic. Now he locked to the spot where they checking off boxes. Young prodigies and some wily old foxes. 3.5 points per box, that's shocking progress. Goal nearing, cohort cheering, Joe doesn't hear it. He's monotasking, no relaxing, concentration maxing. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. Now occasionally, he peeps the world of the tweet and laughs when he sees the player that he used to be. Blank face staring, complex plans comparing while he's dojo training hours a day, playing out positions, transpositions, and growing his board vision. Transition from poser to player, focus without a care. He leaves them complaining in his dust, staying with their week-old ratings. Blast past his week-old rating, each week's a new occasion. He never takes vacation, the work is entertaining, the growth he's maintaining. And now Joe is explaining, hey, don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, rating's what I'll receive. Welcome to the dojo.
All right, we are back. We are back. So, next up is R45 Niels. First signed up for the dojo in February 25, did about 2 days of work and stopped. Played and studied randomly for about a year. Definitely improved on my own, but it seems slow and organized. Just before New Year's, I decided to jump for the paid tier, finished off the Polgar Maiden once, and started everyone's first chess workbook, embraced playing more classical games, and analyzing and annotating, enjoying the structures and accountability. Beautiful. Lovely. So here comes R45, older like me, an older dude, and you can see he's playing a lot, doing some tactics. 790. Well, this guy's already ready to graduate again. He's flying up, man. Welcome to the dojo. All right, V-Gun Master. I'll see you there too. Cool. Come say hi. R45 Niels. Classic games. Now, I don't know if I'm going to find games in 2026, but my friends, put it into the My Games folder. All right, so here we go. This is a recent game. Now, we'll see what happened here. Let's leave the time open just so that we can get a sense of what happened here. A lot of times in the end game, people stop thinking. We'll see if that's what's going on. So far, fine. This is usually called a Zuckertort. Kind of an interesting system. Fine. I'm a little opposed to this move. C4. Definitely don't like that move. Also, Queen C7 is no bueno because Knight C3 would threaten that. Very frisky. Very frisky to do that, my friends. C5. Knight G5 looks a little superficial. All right, here he comes. Okay, interesting. Now Queen F3. I'm not sure what's going on here. That doesn't impress. All right, so the queen, which was terrible, is now going to be given an out. He takes it. It would make more sense to me to trade before, just to open up the rook before we did this. But then, fine, okay. Okay. Interesting. I'm not sure what's going on. I don't, maybe. But doesn't knight takes f4 work now? So bishop e8 was played. Knight f4 looks like it worked to me. Okay. Knight f4 still works. Okay. I don't understand anything here. I don't understand anything. Check to the miserable king. I don't understand. Why can't we take all this stuff? Now he's hanging stuff. Knight h2. Why? Take this guy, bud. Come on. Oh, man. It's too fancy. In any case, we are winning this. There's no doubt. There we go. That's what he deserves. That's what he deserves. Okay. So, well done. Good time control. Couple things there we'll just say. Actually, let's say the obvious because this pertains to so many people. This is a complicated position. And what is our experience? That players at this level don't know how to think in the endgame, both because they're tired and they don't know what they could possibly think about. This is an incredibly complicated position. This requires some time. And I think it gives them anxiety. And so they stop thinking entirely. And they play terribly. Back in the day, we would say that the way to beat the kids was to get them in an endgame. This is bad news. Bad news. Okay, so once you understand it, it's a big advantage. It's a big advantage. All right, let's continue. Next up, we got Enroque. Enroque, I remember, has graduated numerous times. Seems like they started, well, they were in December or something, or January, and then they kind of stopped getting religious about doing their logging. Doesn't Roque got some games? No games. And Roque, we need some games, bud. Next up, we got Cuba.
I'm not quite sure how
Oh
to
my
help you with that.
God. Alexa, off. This is killing me. Here's Cuba, who I'm not familiar with. At least I'm not following them. But they've been busy over here. And they have graduated before. Maybe I just forgot to follow them last time. All right, so they are at 746. This person could also graduate again. We got the Adults Improver Dojo. Cuba, tell us something about yourself. You're doing all this work. Yeah, look at this. You're doing great. Cuba. All right, my games. That's an older one. Do we got anything here? Again, you guys, put your serious games into the My Games folder. You're killing me. All right. Okay, so this is very typical of what we get here. We get somebody just moving ultra fast. They can't take it. And white is also doing a similar thing beginning on move 35. We'll see if it's an endgame thing or not. Okay. A little weird to take. Poor move. Now we're lost. Too fast. Thank you. Fine. Good. Now you're winning. Well, you were winning before. It just got easier. That's all we're saying. I prefer if you brought out the knight. We're okay. Yeah, good. Fine. Fine. Weird. Now knight f4. You could also just move the bishop back. You're killing him. ED also is great. Good. Fine. Rook f1. Very nice. So why did this take so long? Why did it take so long? Look at this. You're killing this guy. Why did it take so long? Good annotations, but on the other hand, why did it take so long? Good. All right. Why does it keep going? Why does it keep going? I don't understand. I don't like that move. I like king a g4, h3 as you wrote, but you're totally winning. No, that scares the bejesus out of me right there. Oh, no. That's why it took so long. Oh. Okay, so there we go. That's why we kept the time on here. Because beginning at move 33, now your opponent was a criminal long before, but beginning around move 33, here we're at move 45, you stopped thinking entirely. Now we have ourselves a mess. And interestingly, he plays king b6 without thinking. And then you can play bishop c4, and then you're winning no problemito. But what would have been the key variation? A3, thank you very much. B7, here, here, here. And now technically you are still winning. But there's a lot of work to do here because you have to worry about perpetual checks and all kinds of weird stuff. Right? Okay. All right, king b6, and now we're winning again easily. All right. Why wouldn't we just move the bishop, bows? Just move the bishop. All right. So, that was spicier than it needed to be. My friends, it's about using your clock time. Okay, next up we got VR33. Whoop, whoop. Hasn't been logging any training or games. Well, he got up to 700, 800 though. That's pretty good. He's doing some stuff. Dad of 2. Yeah, I hear it, bud. I hear it. Look at all this stuff. Just put the games into My Game. So this one's an older one. This PLNR guy's a real serious customer. We will say, though, Dad of 2, that you're making good progress. Definitely good progress. Okay, next up we got Blase. We got Mr. Blase, and what's going on here? He's in the wrong cohort. So, Blase, you need to put yourself into a higher cohort, and then we're going to look at what you're doing there, okay? Next up, we got Tom. Oh, what does Tom got to say? Joined recently, and he wants to play some longer chess. No clubs yet. Games? Nothing. Well, Tom just joined. Welcome to the dojo, Tom. Hopefully we'll see some games from you. And, you know, you joined and already made some good little progress. Bill H is next. Says, just getting serious about the program and seeing results, liking the accountability of the training plan and having regular, slow games, regular basis. Here's Bill H. We'll give him a follow. Family Guy in South Texas. Amazing. And we got some clubs. Army Vets. San Antonio. Okay, that's probably what he means by South Texas. And maybe he hit the rating and then fell down. It looks like maybe that's what happened here. All right, clubs. Oh, we just looked at that cry. Games. Put it in my games, please. Because see, for one, that's where you need to put it. Second of all, I can't go through all these things. All right, here we got a game with Silly Willy. Oh, Silly Willy, we need it better than that. We need it better than that, Silly Willy. All right, here we go. All right, let's take a look for Silly Willy here. Oh, Silly Willy. Now, let me just stress, this is what we see every week on the dojo. Online games, people unable to focus. And we get this just stunning graph here. All right, so we can look at this game, but notice you spent more time analyzing this game than you did playing it. And here you make a blunder in 10 seconds. So, making 1,000, all about you slowing down. Bishop b4 is the main move. Engine says Bishop b4 was better. You don't need to know about the engine. You need to know that this is hanging a piece. Totally weird stuff, and now we don't have any annotations. Okay, now, one thing I don't like is these are engine-produced annotations with like inaccuracy. Rook b5 was best. Blunder, rook d2 was best. Very important for you to do it on your own. Okay? It's fine for you to check after, but when you analyze the game, you want to think about it for yourself, because the biggest things you want to see is like where you're at right now is where did I hang things and where did my opponent hang things. Both will be true. Both will be true at this level. All right, so we had loads of adventures. A lot of these things. See, I just don't understand. We're moving so fast. We're moving so fast. I don't get it. Okay. So, too fast, too much. Too much. I can't take it, Silly Willy. Slow it down, bud. Slow it down. All right, here we got Nicholas. I think my goal in life today is I'm going to get up to like 1,000, and then I'm going to tend to the madness around me. It's a big snow day today. Nicholas says, I'm not entirely sure whether I should move up since my Elite Chess rating, where I play my classical games, is still provisional. But I'm really looking forward to working on the material from the new cohort. Play my rapid games on both Elite Chess and ChessCom. As a cyclist who trains for long hours and has 2 young children, it's difficult to find quality time to study and play with a clear mind. My progress is slow, but I absolutely love the dojo experience. At least in winter, I can watch tons of videos while riding on my home trainer. Okay. One of the last 2. I will look at it. Hold on just a second. I think I have some drama happening.
Welcome
Welcome to the dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to glow when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Eric Dicey. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin. Who cheated who, which engine
That
did he
ain't
hack? And
Mouse.
he got blocked by Short, ignored by Devort, but he can't be wrong. He scored a like from Truon. He's got lightning attacks on GM, blunders and gaffes. True, not over the board, it's only the other chat. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless, he rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction, the status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36.
All right. Oh, man, dealing with some drama. Here's Nicholas the Cyclist here. Oh, man. All right, Nicholas the Cyclist, 832. Beautiful. I used to be a cyclist, as mentioned earlier. Oh, he's up there in Quebec. There's no cycling up there, bud, at least for 9 months of the year. Okay. Recovering from a surgery a couple years ago when I couldn't ride. Dang. I wonder if that was a cycling-related issue, man. I fell down hard. Well, several times, but one time in particular. All right. Games. He said one of the last two. That's something we can do. And beautiful time graph. So 30. Might want to think about a slightly longer game than this. Fine. Odd, right? Odd. Good. We're just developing. Good. He says he's not really good at counting tempi, but here I'm probably 2 or 3 ahead. Okay. I'll tell you what. Let's count after C5. Okay, so he's got 2. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's your move. So 5. So it's 5 against 2. You're up 3. H3, not a good move. Now, you just lost a lot of time. CD4, ED4. Rook E8, poor move, not really going anywhere, developing. A3, poor move. Knight B4 wasn't a threat, so you're losing time, development. Poor move, not necessary. Queen is already developed. What needs to happen? Rook E1 needs to... Actually, wait. Cry. Take it easy. Take it easy. He's right. He's right. Maybe Queen F4 is better. I take it back, though, saying Queen E3 was wrong. You do have to defend the pawn. At least I think you do. Oh, that doesn't look right. DE5. Thank you. That was kind of an interesting move. We got to give it to him. That was a little bit of an interesting move. Wow, E5 was maybe a good move. Surprising to me. And he played it so fast. So Queen F4 is therefore easier. It makes it more natural, too. E5 excellent. That's a good move. And now he's fine. Okay. I don't understand C4. I don't actually know what we're doing. I don't like that. Now he's got DC. He blows it and plays this move. Good move. I don't know what he's doing. Let's go A4 we could. A5, blunder. Now you're hanging the pawn. Okay. He's just giving it to you. Take it. Take it. Good. Rook D6 now. Okay, fine. King F2, building. King F3. I don't know why we just don't take it. And now we hung that. Ay, Chihuahua. Yeah. That scares the bejesus out of me. And now we're in a little bit of trouble. Good evaluation. Rook takes C4. talks about h4. You're in trouble because your king went this way. It's hard for you to know this, but the king needed to stay on this side of the board. And we can't really ever take that thing. Yep. Toast. Okay, that was a rough lesson. That was a rough lesson, but that's what we get. All right, we're going to call him Matthew Doherty. That's what I'm going with here. And he says, I feel like just being around others that care about the game has made me take it more seriously. Okay, I like that message. So, 779, we'll give him a follow. Music teacher turned administrator. Doctoral candidate, 2 times Ironman. Oh, this guy's my kind of guy. Very nice. Okay. Looks like he's going to be ready to graduate again soon. Chicago Dojo. All right. We got some games. Oh, he's Jude Akers, dude. He's playing Jude Akers. Let's go see Jude. No clock. Okay, we do want... I'm going to look at a different game. We want definitely an annotation here. No, he doesn't have the annotations. Now, I think he's pretty new to the dojo, and I just want to say it is sometimes hard to start that first annotation off. To know even what questions that's. Here we go. Now, when was this? Let's see here. Wait a second. When was it? It was a while ago. A little while ago. We'll take a look, though. Generally, I try to do ones that are a little bit more recent. 30-0. Now, at this stage, you should be playing longer games because you're a stronger player now. All right, let's go game review. All right, so. G3, fine. B3 is a little weird. Knight D4 is a little weird. Why? Because you're not developing. This looks like a blunder. Why isn't it the case that white isn't winning a pawn like that? Okay. My God. Oh my God, now it's spicy. And now he hangs a piece with bishop b2. So d takes c5 maybe is a big blunder because of knight e4. Yeah, it looks like a big blunder. So now he's just lost. It's still very hot though, isn't it? Now you play bishop f5. Okay, more annotations here, my friend. Look, g4 is a thing. So this whole thing, look, you have 0 annotations here. This is super complicated. Super complicated. The other thing we should say is here knight c3 looks more, well, knight c3 is also, there's questions there too. Yeah, knight c3 as well. And then this position's fascinating. And it looks like you're coming out of this wrong. Maybe here knight c3, but bam. So yeah, we need to think about this, my friend. Look at that, no annotations. No annotations. Here's what's spicy. There's stuff to think about here, my man. Okay, good. Let's go back. I like the guy, though. I like his style. Well, we got a couple people here who are doing heavy cardio. This is Barry. He's an older dude like me. Also a late dad like me. All right, he's in England. Okay, cool. Dude, this guy's also doing running cycling. Dang. We got some things going on here. All right. Clubs. Looks good. Does Barry have some games? Oh, Barry's got loads, but let's go take a look. 30 plus 20. As we go up, we really do need to be playing longer games. So good that we're seeing a slightly longer time control here. Let's get into it. Fine moves. Notice b6 is against the rules because the bishop's already out. Controversial, but interesting. Takes, and then we get this same kind of sort of trick that we saw before. Now, the thing that I don't understand, well, first of all, I thought you were going to take on b7. But I was going to say I wasn't unsure about this position here. Now we can't take our knight. We got ourselves a real mess here. All right, so good. Queen d6 looks like a full blunder. Now knight f7 or knight c6. Good. Oh, that's going to be mate. Wiggle and jiggle. Good move. Good move. That wasn't it. b4, that's fancy. Knight b5 looked good too. Oh, I like that a lot. This guy's getting mated. So Barry, that was some good chess. That was some good chess. Definitely we want more variations here. You were the one who created the crisis. And knight takes e5, we got to just analyze it a little bit more. Definitely queen d6, you should say, hey, that's definitely a blunder. Queen to d6. Put a question mark next to that thing. Okay, but well done. All right, Moodla is over here. And Moodla is an old dojoer. I don't know how old he is, but he's been with the dojo. You can see he's got the Dojo 1.0 badge. And he has gone up a lot. He had a crisis over here. That can happen when you're playing the rapid chess. But he's around the same thing in lead chess, and USCF's kind of similar. Okay, so clubs. This is the famous Moodla. Heat map heroes. You know, it's funny. We were talking about the clubs with the most graduations per capita, and you would think heat map heroes would be it. And so I'm not gonna do it because I don't got the tech skills, but I want to do a analysis of which clubs have the most games by per capita. All right, here we go. Games. My games. He's got loads. Bang. Nope, this is a 10-minute game. We can't do that. All right, so then he's got a bunch of older games. Let's see here. So, I don't know, what's this? So you can see he's got games going all the way back to 23, I believe. Yeah, Moodla, we need some more recent games, bud. And that 10-minute stuff, you know that that's not in the dojo, Moodla. But I'm hoping Moodla's making it, you know. You could see he's putting in the work over here. He is putting in the work. Doing a lot of non-dojo things, but putting in the work. All right, well done, Moodla. Next up we have, this was the guy earlier who said it was going to be pronounced in a way that I wouldn't be able to do. And I think, see, it says A.P. Hill. Oh, let's see over here. He's back over here somewhere. Now I'm obsessed with how to pronounce his name. Oh, now I'm not going to do it right. He's going to be like, cry, I told you what to do. I told you how to say it. And now you're not going to be able to see it. I graduated. Jesse pronounced it Aphil. I found it much harder. Okay. Well, let's call him Aphil. Aphil. It could be A.P. Hill. Let's go over here. So here he is. Also got a runner thing going on here. He's played about 12 OTB games. He's got a high national rating. Great. Enjoys the graduation show. Beautiful. And here he is, got his first graduation. That is a beautiful thing. Now, I just want to point out this man has been working hard. He has been working hard, so a well-earned graduation here. I think you don't have to put it as your preferred rating, but you could already put up your OTB. You've obviously, this is a cool graph because you obviously put in some work, and I'm sure it felt like crud when you were in this stretch because you were like, bro, I'm putting in all this work, but I'm not moving. And so as a chess fan, that's the coolest thing for me is if somebody can push through it, Like Gukesh, dude. That guy's going through a spell, man. He's going through a spell. Is he going to get broken? Or is he going to come out a different man? That's where fans are. It's interesting. Okay. He's in Wales and Ireland lifting heavy things. What am I telling you, people? This is the club. That's the graduators club right there. All right, so here we go. This looks like I don't know if it's an OTB or not. It looks probably not like an OTB. But here we go. This is our time. So quick game, but reasonable time usage. Maybe they went too fast here. And let's hit this game review button. Okay. Little weird. Good. And then this is a blunder. I think like ED5 is you could argue black has a little compensation for the pawn. I like that move a lot. E3, nice and strong. Protect the bishop. No need to play E4. All right. Now you play takes, but notice I think that would have been annoying. That would have been real annoying because then he can't go bishop D7. Good. Good. Boom. Oh, that makes your life easier there. Bishop takes. Now, I guess you're not doing queen takes because of queen b4. But in general, I think you want to play queen takes just to develop your queen. Blunder. Bang! Well done, my friend. Well done. And now we're just mopping him up. Yeah, no need to be fancy. Well done. That was great. So I think it's not a Phil, it's Anthony Phillips. That's who it is. It's Anthony Phillips. All right, let's go back. Next up, we got Maleha. We'll do at least a couple more. Since I started, I have felt a commitment to myself to follow the training program using the calendar, which is very helpful. Keeps me motivated and I like tracking my progress. I am still in the process of learning the entire program and have really enjoyed it so far. Okay, beautiful. Here's Maleha, just joined. Just joined, might not have anything for us. No clubs. Does he got some games? Everybody's got games here. So, but he doesn't have annotations. Let's go over this one. So just join, not unusual to not have annotations. One of the first steps that he needs to make. Okay, next up we got Kingo Night Night. That's one of my favorite names in the dojo here. And he's breaking through to the other side here. And he says, this is my 4th graduation in a little less than a year and a half. I continue to keep training basic, puzzles, Polgar mates, 2 blunder games a week, 1 classical game a week, and game reviews. So far, I have enjoyed logical chess, making lead chess studies of the games to review. Thank you again to Sweatgland for the guidance and encouragement. Please review my most recent game against, I'm not going to pronounce it. This was a game where I found it tough to develop and a bit befuddled by how to play an actual endgame, which is something I have less experience maneuvering. Maybe Silman's material for this new cohort will help. Thanks. One thing, actually, I will give a shout out to is we've been doing this endgame class. And for January, I led it. It was for the under 1100 group. We still have one more, actually, this Friday. But then in February, WGM Tatev Abrahamian is going to take over. And so she's going to do her own thing there with the endgame for a higher rating range. Just something to think about. If you're interested at all in either our lecture classes or the game and review, you can see up there at the top we have this live classes. Beautiful thing. We started it on January 1st. So far, it's been really fun. All right. So, New Jersey clinical neuropsychologist. Amazing. Wow. Yeah. I remember Kingo Night Night. I think he might have added some of this stuff. I have a friend who's a retired, I guess, neurologist, and he's fascinating to me because he can walk around and he claims, and I've kind of seen it in action, that from a distance he can diagnose all kinds of things by how they walk, how they walk and their gestures and stuff. Okay. First of all, it is always a big barrier to cross 1,000. I think it's the most interesting barrier for most of the dojo in that it's where chess, I think, becomes a little bit more interesting, a little bit more strategic. Because after you cross this barrier, you're not going to have as many games simply decided by someone hanging a piece. Right? There's going to be more strategic factors that are actually going to decide the game. Strategy is always there, but if people are hanging stuff, strategy isn't going to be important. Right? So it's after you get to a certain level, like 1,000, where it starts to becoming more and more important. So Kingo Night Night's also an older dude like me. It's beautiful. And then he's doing this game review session. Beautiful. And he wants this game with the A name. I'm not going to pronounce. Now, Kingo Night Night did really well. Now, we're going to keep an eye on this, though, because he looks like he stopped thinking around move 50. His opponent, though, is one of these random chumps online that's not thinking at all. All right? One of the reasons that OTB is harder. They're going to get less people who are simply not thinking. Okay, so boom, boom, boom. Good. And it's great that he's doing it on his own. This is a famous gambit when I played it when I was a kid. Knight e4, now his opponent blunders, bishop d2. The most testing move, very interesting, is castles. Now queen e7 doesn't make sense because you're putting your queen on a business where it's going to get whacked. The easy move to make would be knight d2 followed by d5, winning time, and you just consolidated your pawn. You could also play bishop c3 followed by d5. Good move by your opponent. And now I'm really worried on rook e1. It looks scary but daring. Not good. I preferred bishop c3. Ooh, and I don't like that move. Not developing. So remember, development is important. And you just killed your bishop and lost the tempo. Poor move. Not developing. Rook e1. Or knight d5. Okay. Knight d5. Good. Queen g6. And now he says, thank you for all your coconuts. Now, the problem that I want to stress, what happened here to you, okay, is that you weren't paying attention to development. So even though we can talk about this being a blunder of a piece, which it is, the bigger problem was that you weren't developing. I'm going to be right back. Welcome to the dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hype, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Eric Icy. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin. Who cheated who, which engine
That
did he
ain't
hacking?
Mouse.
He got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong. He scored a like from Truan. He's got lightning attacks on GM, blunders and gaffes. True, not over the board, it's only the other chat. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless, he rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction, the status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought merch from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes, my friend, yes, this is you. But that all changed one bright sunny day when a friend said, hey, don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. Sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. Don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I stepped away from easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. So Joe got into the business, stopped the app sickness, daily practices rhythm, he even upped his fitness. He found sparring cathartic, postmortems charming. With the plus equal minus, he was armed for elo farming. With notepad and pen, he built up calluses, escape rating paralysis with lengthy game analysis. With sensei direction, he sold his collection. Read one classic and that was fantastic. Now he locked to the spot where they checking off boxes. Young prodigies and some wily old foxes. 3.5 points per box, that's shocking progress. Goal nearing, cohort cheering, Joe doesn't hear it. He's monotasking, no relaxing, concentration maxing. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. Now occasionally, he peeps the world of the tweet and laughs when he sees the player that he used to be. Blank face staring, complex plans comparing while he's dojo training. Hours a day playing out positions, transpositions, and growing his board vision. Transition from poser to player, focus without a care. He leaves them complaining in his dust, staying with their week-old ratings. Blast past his week-old rating, each week's a new occasion. He never takes vacation, the work is entertaining, the growth he's maintaining. And now Joe is explaining, hey, don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. Don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, rating's what I'll receive. Welcome to the dojo.
Welcome to the dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Eric Icy. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin. Who cheated who, which engine
That
did he
ain't
hacking?
Mouse.
He got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong. He scored a like from Truan. He's got lightning attacks on GM, blunders and gaffes. True, not over the board, it's only the other chat. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless, he rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction, the status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought merch from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes, my friend, yes, this is you. But that all changed one bright sunny day when a friend said, hey, don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. Sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. Don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I stepped away from easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what but I'll receive. So Joe got into the business, stopped the absentness, daily practices, rhythm, he even upped his fitness. He found sparring cathartic, postmortems charming. With the plus equal minus, he was armed for ELO farming. With notepad and pen, he built up calluses, escape rating paralysis with lengthy...
All right, my friends, we are back. That's Kingo Night Night, famous dojoer. Okay, so, man, I had to deal with some drama. Let's do two more, then we're out of here. This is ABT. Do I know ABT? I do. Just joined, though, fairly recently, end of last year. He's got 1168. He's cruising, dude. No clubs, though. Does he have any games? Maybe not. He does, dude. He does. I might have covered this one, though, because, yeah, I already covered that one. So, ABT, you're doing great, buddy. It's time to give us some more games, of course, but otherwise, you're doing great. Julep Oder Best, hello to you, too. Next up, we have Arsène Lupin. This guy's a famous dojoer. Really interested to see for the first time the concept of time, counting time and everything, especially with the mastering time in chess. 5th graduation going for more. P.S. Next week, I'm starting my first OTB after being away for 4 years. Nice. Under 1600, 45 plus 30. Excellent, Arsène. Excellent. Exactly what you need for where you are right here. So, here we go. This is Arsène. From Medellin. Nice, dude. Okay. And he's 20. Long-term, wants to become a GM. Do we have a Colombian club? There it is, dude. I asked him for it, and he did it for me. Nice. That's great, man. That's great. That's what we want. So we got a Colombia club. That's a beautiful thing. And here's a game, the famous Orc Slayer is not so famous. So this is Round Robin Dojo. If you hadn't heard earlier, we're talking about the dojo round robins. Beautiful thing for people who cannot play OTBs. Arsène, of course, is starting his in a momentito. So there you see the time graph. Very, very good. Very good. Okay. So we'll game review. So here we go. Maybe I'm just going to make a quick note. In this position, white can get a little bit of an advantage by doing that little trickaroo to you. Okay, I don't like it too much. Okay. Gosh, you talk about bishop h3 like a madman here, and you castle. And I just want to say, a very highfalutin new idea in this position is, if they play h3 with and castle, you can body slam them with g5, g4. Just rip them open. Just rip them open. Moodla just joined Heat Map Heroes. That's a good thing, man. All right. I don't know if someone important's calling me. They can leave a message. All right. So, castles. As I said, I think g5 was interesting. Knight a4. Bishop b6. And you don't have to. You could have done other things. Okay. Good. You're developing. Fine. Good. You're playing good chess. Poor, not developing. And now you play rook fd8, and it's a fancy move. Personally, I don't understand why we wouldn't just pop him open here with d5. But not bad. And now he stops you. You think it's a bad move? I don't know. I don't know. It's not so bad. Now maybe queen d2 followed by b4 would be good. He doesn't see it. You come in. Good. And now he does this, and he's losing his mind. And he just says, well, I'll take the pawn. Thank you very much. Okay, I don't like that move. You took. Very nice move. I was hoping you'd find that. Now we're coming around the mountain over here. Oh, whoa. Definitely this one was better. Queen e8, weird. Knight a5. So the problem with knight a5 is your knight is terrible over there. He starts coming at you. Maybe a good move. d5, fancy. I don't know. I don't understand. Oh, this is a good move. Timeout. Timeout. You know, sometimes when I'm going over lower level games, I don't even look to see the fancy ideas, and sometimes they have them. And look at his idea, dude. He's setting this bad boy up. So D5 double exclam. At first I was like, what are you doing? I didn't even see it. D5 double exclam. He falls for it right away. And we got him. That's good chess. All right. Is it still a little complicated? Queen F6. And now this is just a full blunder with queen takes A5. So G4 is probably what we should consider. And now we should be able to mate him. Thank you very much. Great game. Great game, you guys. Great game. All right. So Arsene is making very good progress. And if we go back here, yeah, dude, really cool. And you could schedule him with him to do stuff. He is in the dojo. He is working hard. Really cool. I'm going to give a quick shout out to our live classes here. We're going to have a new list of lectures coming up for February. It's going to be the Endgame Fundamentals 1100 plus with Tatev Abrahamian. Kostya is going to continue the calculation course. He's also going to do an opening 1D4 course. And I am going to do a board visualization course. This is going to be difficult for me to do. I think it's going to be amazing for people under 1,000. And that is just because in my time doing the Dojo Graduate Show, I see people hanging stuff. And it's not calculation. It's not like a couple moves deep. It's like somebody is hanging something. And so for those players, I'm trying to get a list of exercises, groups of exercises that will help us with that. Okay, so I'm going to end there, and we will say that we made it up to 1,200, and we will do the rest tomorrow. Too much drama for me right now. I sometimes finish this thing, sometimes I don't. But that is what we are going to stop now. I raid somebody. Who am I going to raid? Who am I going to raid? Thank you, Victoria. And Karuba Daladala says, I'm 9.5, 11 in classical games. Well, right on. All right, let's give a raid to... let's give a raid to Asmawada. Do I know Asmawada? I don't know if I remember Asmawada, but you wish her well. You wish Asmawada well, my friends, and I am out of here. I will be back tomorrow, barring some unforeseen event, and we will finish this graduation show. Bye, everybody.